All right, let's talk ADUs. What is an ADU? It's an accessory building. It's a guest house. It's a detached structure from the main house that is usually a little closer to the property line than the main houses itself. Why do homeowners choose to do that? They want more storage. They want expanded living space for guests, family, or even generational living. We're seeing a lot more of that. There's been a lot of information on the news recently about these new bills and laws that have been signed into place for ADUs to become easier. That remains to be seen how easy it's going to be, but we're standing in a guest house now that we're in the middle of building in North Scottsdale, and it's a pretty cool little project. It's a full family room, a small kitchenette space, a bathroom, and a full bedroom that these particular homeowners can use when their family comes in town or when they have guests that want to stay with them. This offers them the flexibility to have people with them, but not in their personal space all the time. So we started this about three and a half months ago, and we should be done in about 3 months from now. It's a great little structure, and so far it's coming together nicely. So one of the challenges we ran into with this particular guest house is because of its location in Scottsdale, in a neighborhood that's well established, but recently, within the last few years, had its FEMA flood zone or flood maps redrawn. This particular guest house now had to be elevated. And so when this was going through architectural design and engineering, we found out that this pad needed to be elevated almost 3 feet above the existing residence. It's unfortunate, but we were able to work a scenario out where we have a really big foundation, a big stem wall, and then we've elevated the pad to meet all the requirements of FEMA and then the city of Scottsdale, but also give a beautiful look to the client. And so what we did was we've used this elevated pad to create retaining walls and planters on the outside that'll have beautiful plant life, and it still gives the structure what's needed to meet code and guidelines, but also the aesthetics for what will be appealing for the clients. So an interesting element to this particular guest house, and something that we try to achieve in any work that we do, is to make it look uniform or like it always was part of the original design. And so at 2 points on this guest house, we have radius framing in the ceiling. And the reason that's there is because in the main house, they have multiple radius points on the tile roof at the outside, which also translate inside. And so we wanted to mimic the same look. We're copying all the same finishes on this. And even though it's a little bit of a hard detail to put together and an expensive detail, it's going to be well worth it for the final finish. Okay, so as we're about the halfway point of this particular guest house, follow us along for the next few that we've got teed up coming soon, and we'll find out together if the new regulations in Arizona are going to make it easier or not to get these things built for our clients.